Okay, we're ready to move on to mission 4. Yeah, the first missions are go by pretty quickly, obviously because they're mostly trying to show off the game, or well, like trying to teach the player. And if you already know what you're doing and know where you're going, they go by pretty fast. Now these guys have had a change in that look at how fast they go now. And in the old game, what happened was when you would hit them once, in order to activate them, it would take forever to actually get them to go before you can hit them again to move them. In this game, as soon as you hit them, you can hit it again to make it go. And here with him, you can use your summon swords to speed it up. And it makes it a lot easier. Like, just because before it was kind of annoying to wait. Every time you want to activate it, you would have to wait a certain amount of time before it oh god, I'm missing all my attacks right now. Stop doing that, please. Oh, here, let me activate this right now. Actually, we can use it. Hold on, there we go. Yeah, if you do see these around, you can use them in fights, which is pretty fun to do. They're pretty hard to aim, but they do a ton of damage. Here, I'll just show it off again. Yeah, see, takes them out easily. Gets your style gauge up pretty well, like a decent amount, I guess. Here we can go break this now. Come on, just come on. There we go. Yeah, as you saw, it started moving pretty fast. Alright, I need to break this middle thing. Actually, I don't think you even have to break this. This is just something I kind of got used to doing. And you know, and you can see that this is not lit up yet, so you can't really use it. So you have to go light that up first. So the way to do that, okay, thank you. Now what we want to do is go grab that gyro blade over there, and we can get to it from here. Just a couple of guys to fight here. No real problem, especially since it's just 2 of these guys, which go down pretty easily. Oh god, I actually missed that attack. And if they do their block on it, your concentration gauge does go down, so be careful when fighting these guys. And of course, you can break everything on this table to get red orbs if you wanted to. Now, the reason that before you wouldn't have been able to progress in this area if you came here before would have been, oh god, I messed that up. Let me just get that over there. So yeah, if you came to this area before, that thing would have hit you and you wouldn't have been able to... Okay, come on, camera. Come on. You wouldn't have been able to proceed, but now that you have this, it becomes easy because all you have to do is use this gyro blade as a shield. Alright. I guess I'm just bouncing it back and forth. That is a secret mission there, but I think only Nero can access it. And now we can take these guys on. So the other thing is, because there are 3 separate campaigns now, the nice thing that they did is that you don't have to really worry about leveling up each of these characters, or well, not leveling them up, since there's no real leveling up system here, but there is the ability system where you can buy more things to do. And the currency for that, just like how in Devil May Cry 4, the original one, the abilities that you, or the currency that you would collect as Nero would carry over to Dante. Here, that same thing applies, where any currency you pick up here will go to any other character that you want to use, which is really cool because that way, it might not be the best thing if you've never played some of these characters before, because learning their abilities slowly is... Okay, I did not mean to do that at all. Learning their abilities slowly is kind of required if you're gonna do, or especially if you have never really played a game like this before. And in that case, if you have a lot of currency, you don't really get to try things out one at a time. Instead, everything's kind of thrown at you. Especially like if you decided, okay, I'm gonna beat Virgil's campaign, and after that you're gonna go back and beat the Nero and Dante campaign. By the time you get to Lady and Trish, you'll have pretty much unlocked, or will have enough currency to unlock everything in the game. And now the problem with that is, having all that currency means you'll be able to unlock all their abilities pretty much right away. And the problem with that is, I would say that Lady is kind of a difficult character to use, especially compared to everyone else, because of how different she is. You might not really understand her, and might not really like using her, because you would unlock all of her abilities at once, and you might be overwhelmed by the options. Whereas if that wasn't the case, and you got things one at a time pretty much, you might be able to understand her a lot more and maybe enjoy her character a lot more. It's mostly fine. It was a little getting used to, which is why I played them second, and I played Nero and Dante last, just because I already had used them plenty of time in the original Devil May Cry 4. It's also the problem with when I'm doing it on the LP like this, because it makes it so that, oh, you can't hit them, so you can't really use a teleporting thing on these guys. And they do dodge your attacks, so you gotta be careful. Oh, he almost ate me. Alright, no cutscene here. Here, let me bring out... oh god. Alright, let's go to the front. Come on. Okay, yeah, there you go. See that? See how that move ended differently than the normal ones? Alright, he's just gonna go into this mode, so I'll just use it to get my concentration gauge up. Now you gotta be careful with these guys, because they can do that shit to you. And now I lost all my concentration gauge. Good job. Now I'm not gonna be doing much attack damage here. Oh, you gotta be careful. Yeah, these guys are actually somewhat more difficult with him than they are with the other characters. And normally when they're like this, if you're playing as Nero, you can just use his ability to just pretty much kill them right there. Alright, let me just... yeah, okay, oh god. Here, let me show that. Oh, how did I do that before? I can't even... oh yeah, and the drill thing does carry over to him too. The drill stinger, if you're in if you're in the Devil Trigger mode. And of course, Bale and Dagon are still the easiest bosses in the game. Like, way easier than any of the other ones. God, I'm see, like, it's kind of... I've never really liked that you have to get orbs to get a good style ranking, because that kind of just is a way to pad out the game. I prefer to just be skill based. And I guess they kind of did that in DMC Devil May Cry, where after you had found all the hidden stuff once, you kept them, which made things a lot easier. But it did also... they should have also not focused on using those for your style ranking as much, just because I feel like that made everything way easier in DMC Devil May Cry. These guys are still kind of annoying. Tons of red orbs to collect here if you want them. And I would say they're pretty much mandatory if you're trying to S rank this one. The other, if you're also good enough, I guess, you can be collecting enough red orbs as long as your style meters are high enough, because you do get more red orbs, as well as more proud souls, depending on how high your style meter is when you kill an enemy. Oh, when he gets in the back there, it's actually kind of annoying to get behind him. Okay, that's everyone in here. So the puzzles obviously haven't really improved. There's nothing really that different from the normal game, I would say. The puzzles are still just here, just like they were before, as a distraction, so that you have some moments of calm, so that you're not always just punching guys. And I do think that's very valuable, because I remember there was this one indie game, I don't remember the name of it now. It played alright, like not even nearly, like not close to this at all in any way, but it played alright. But the problem with it was that it was just battle arenas, where they would just send wave after wave of enemies at you, and that really wasn't like fun, because what ended up happening was you would just get kind of tired of the action in the game without having enough time to just relax between each high moment. Whereas this game, I feel like it does give you enough low points which make the high points seem even higher than they really are. And now these things are your I don't know, typical bounce pads from any other game, where you just jump on them and they send you flying really high. Yeah, see, like I would like this platforming isn't like interesting or anything, but it's there enough that it kind of kept me occupied before I came back here. Oh god, I got swarmed there. And it's much better than some games have, like mini games. I know that in some of the Platinum Games stuff, like Bayonetta, even Wonderful 101, they kind of like to do that a lot, which are alright, I guess, depending on the mini games. Some of the mini games are like designed really well, so they're fine, but sometimes they're not the best designed. The biggest example for that, I would say, is the Legend of Korra game that came out by Platinum, where they had the mini game of that endless runner type of thing that you could play with Naga, and that just wasn't very fun. And if you go back and watch me play that game, you'll see how much I really disliked those parts, whereas I really liked the other parts of the game. Oh, more of these guys. Now, the one thing that I really wish was in this game was different music for these characters. Because the music does not change from the original version at all. Alright, what's with this camera? Like, depending on which stage you are for Virgil, whether you're playing the Dante stages or Nero stages, the corresponding battle music plays. Whereas, and of course, if you're playing as Lady, the Nero music plays, and if you're playing as Trish, the Dante music plays. And it would have been a lot, but I guess that's the same as it was in Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition, where they didn't add any new music. I'm pretty sure they kept it the same in that game as well. Yeah, but it would have been really nice, like adding different battle music depending on the character does add a lot to it. Because hearing the battle music for Nero and Dante for Virgil never really fits in too much. Because like you would expect music for him to be a lot more subdued and not as loud. But it's alright, I guess. It's not the worst thing, it's just one of the few complaints I do have about this game. As well as some of the couple of the other complaints that carry over from Devil May Cry 4. Alright, now what are we on? Mission 6? Yeah, mission 6. So here's something interesting I'll show off. Because some of these levels, or some of these enemies were different because of the way that you're supposed to play them with Nero, they had to kind of make some changes to some of these enemies. I don't think those changes remain if you're playing as Dante or Nero, but when you are playing through using either Virgil, Lady, or Trish, those changes do remain. Alright, I don't even know why I'm doing this. I don't need to do this. I'm really just wasting time. I'm just so used to always attacking these guys that's just like where my mind went. Alright, we got this. We got this. Didn't waste too much time. Yeah, so I'll show it off when we actually get to those enemies. Yeah, these guys are the same. The enemies that I am talking about are the sword enemies, which if you played as Nero, you used to be able to use his double bringer to grab them and fling them, and they were practically required for the boss fight that's coming up. Whereas you can't do that with Virgil, obviously, because he doesn't have an ability that lets him fling guys. Now these guys are still just as annoying. I never liked them in the old game, and I don't like them in this game. Like, I don't really think that their design's that interesting, and to fighting them is always just really annoying. Oh, especially because it's like a weight type of thing. Like, there's another enemy that where you kind of have to do the same thing, but these guys are like not nearly as interesting or cool looking like that other enemy is. I always wondered what, you know, I never actually looked at the overall map in this game. I wonder how like accurate in terms of like space it actually is. Like, I remember always looking at the map when I played Devil May Cry 3, because that game was kind of confusing the first time through, whereas this game is a lot more linear. And I always had a hard time in that game, but in this game it's been pretty fine. So here we have these annoying dice things, and for anyone that doesn't know, they're not random. You can choose exactly what outcome you want, and I'll show off how to do that. If you look at the top, whatever is there when you hit it is the amount of things it's gonna move. Like, for example, I want 2, so I'm gonna wait for 2. Oh, I actually hit it twice. I didn't mean to do that, but it doesn't matter, because whenever you hit it, that's how much it'll move. For anyone that found these parts really frustrating or annoying, that's how you pretty much have to get through them. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess I'll go for a 6 here. 6s come after 2, so that's the best time to go for them. There we go. Yeah, once you, it's kind of hard at first, but you get used to it really fast, and then it pretty much is. Oh, I should have moved to the white space, because this like kind of wastes time here. Because I don't want to do any of this. All right, whatever. There you go. It's over. All right, now I want to move 2, so I can get that yellow to teleport me. Now I want 1. Where is this guy? 1 comes after 5. There we go. The order is 1, 4, 2, 1, 4, 2, 3, 5. No, 1, 4, 2, 6, 3, 5. Yeah. Okay, now I wasn't paying attention to what I need. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that comes after 3. And there you go. Easy. I'm just gonna skip that. That cutscene is all it does is break that one part. Now here's something fun. Now these enemies are completely different. Where now, if you attack them, well, especially if they're not so much when they're stuck there. Or wait, hold on. What's the... Oh, I can't remember. Oh, there we go. Okay. So when they're spinning like that, if you attack them at that moment, they will be sent flying at whatever you want them to be sent flying at. Oh god, I just took them. No. So like that, as you can see there, when I hit them there, they are sent flying and go and hit the screen there, which is what we need to destroy for this fight. The one thing that I absolutely wish was better in this game is the ability to aim better, because it is not improved from 4, and it's worse than 3's because you can't select exactly who you want. You can obviously you do have several different options, but all of them still are not the most easy to get used to. Like, you can choose if you wanna go for some guy that's close by, or maybe the guy that's in front of you. Okay, I took that hit. Oh god. All right, let me concentrate for... Oh, actually no, I'm good. I actually do think that if you hit them while they're stuck in the ground, yeah, they do go. It's just that you just need a good vision on the actual thing to attack there. Yeah, so the first time I played this, I was like, well, what should I even do? I couldn't figure it out. And I kept just trying to go up to the cage and attacking that. And every time I did that, these swords would just kind of swarm, and then I wouldn't make it out alive. Oh god, that camera. Alright, let me just... There we go. That's it. Yeah, and it would just always be like kind of annoying, because I was like, oh, what do I do? But then I realized that if you hit them while they're spinning, you can pretty much finish the boss fight with no problem. Alright, what's going on? Was he like not locked onto it? I don't know what happened there. So hitting this will put the dam, or I don't actually, is this still called a dam if it's on a waterfall? Alright, I'm not sure what it's called, but it will stop the waterfall and open up this bridge that you can cross now. And if you remember that bridge, we saw it. Well, I didn't really go up to it. I kind of just walked away from it. It's the bridge that we saw when we were trying to go around in the castle. And of course that opens up. You can blow those up if you want to get some red orbs. But that shouldn't be a problem. Let's just move on. And here you can see that this is the factory where these guys are actually made, because these are artificial demons. Because what they do is they take a bunch of demons and just kind of put them in this suit of armor. And the suit of armor is obviously well, actually it doesn't really make any sense if you're playing as Virgil, obviously, but you know, neither is fighting Burial or anything. So this, like, the inclusion of Virgil being here is obviously just meant to be a fun thing, not so much that's exactly what happened in the story. Because, you know, they said it was decades ago, whereas this is what Fortuna looks like in current day when you see what happens in the events of Devil May Cry 4 with Nero and Dante. Oh, I didn't even know that another guy would spawn here. Don't block me, man. Come on. Alright, let's just see if we can knock these guys out real fast. Oh, missed that guy. And that guy. Okay, I guess two of them spawned from behind. And I didn't even kill all of them. Great. Let's just do it again. There we go. And this guy's still alive. Let's just give him a bunch of stabs in the back and it should be good. And hitting that does open this up, and it will let me go back to Fortuna Castle instead of the underground laboratory where I am now, and we can go access that bridge that we just opened. More of these little jumping puzzles. I can't believe I actually made it over that beam. Usually I mess it up pretty badly. And yeah, like, so one thing that has been present in Devil May Cry games since the very beginning, it's kind of a result of them being, oh god, a weird successor to the Resident Evil series, is that in all Devil May Cry games, there tends to be a lot of backtracking, where doing something in one area will open up more options in a different area. And a lot of people don't like that, because a lot of people like more of just going straight and always be looking at something new. Whereas I'm pretty okay with backtracking as long as it's done well. Except for the fact what happens in this game with backtracking. And that's like one of the worst examples of how backtracking can be done really poorly. And when we do get there, I'll show it off, and I'll explain exactly why I really didn't like it. And of course, so that you can't just keep going back to this area, the bridge does retract and the waterfall does open up again. Oh, I don't see. So is that a dam? I really have no idea. Oh god, I almost walked back into the area. And now we're out of Fortuna Castle and into the new area, which is the, I don't know, I guess it's just called the forest area. I don't really know what the name of it is. Wow. All of those are terrible. Not even getting like good stylish points here.